Hello and welcome to Segments Has Spoken, the weekly Survivor Fancast, starring your favorite stars from the Segments podcast with Mark and Amber.
We were able to get everyone's favorite stars from Segments.
Yeah, it's difficult because their schedule is pretty crazy. But we got them in the studio with us tonight. So, Amber, it was an incredibly fun episode of Survivor tonight. What did you think?
It was exciting. I've never seen this particular shakeup.
This has never happened in the history of Survivor before, if Jeff Probst can be believed. Yeah. So, not that two people got voted out in one night. We've seen that happen in Survivor. But they usually so normally, from my understanding, they'll smash like two episodes into one. So tonight they did something different. TV's still on.
keep talking, banter.
I will just banter. So they split the current tribe of 10 into two different tribes. And so we had two tribes of 5 randomly chosen, an orange tribe and a purple tribe. And unfortunately for the poor Malolos, somehow both tribes had majority Naviti, minority Malolo.
Well, we're 4-6, and so you could have had a tribe that had 4 Malolo and 1 Naviti, but the odds are not in their favor.
No, but it seems like at some point, at some switch in this crazy game, you would have had it somewhere along the line, the Naviti would have been on the bottom, and it just never seems to happen.
It's true.
Now, Jeff did point out something interesting at Tribal, I think the first Tribal of the night, that there 2 Naviti sitting on the jury.
Yeah, that is interesting.
And 1 Malolo. And there, and so the Naviti
means they have turned on themselves a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but I think, we're just barely merged into one tribe, and then they split them up into 2 again.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
It's craziness. So the show starts with Kellen just kind of declaring that she is going to stay Naviti strong, even while Dom is incredibly grateful to Laurel for saving him.
Right in front of Kellen. Kellen's right there.
Wendell,
yeah.
And from Des, her kind of coup that she was trying to do the previous week, and he's very thankful, and she kind of acts thankful. But then in her kind of interview, she's like, "Whatever, I'm staying Naviti strong. That's how you win."
Dom was supposed to be hiding his alliance with Laurel, but the fact that he hugged her and thanked her right in front of Kellen, it was sort of like welcoming her into the Naviti side.
Do you think so?
Laurel felt reassured. Kellen did not buy it.
Yeah.
She didn't care.
Yeah, I don't know. You're right. I see what you're saying. I think it's the right reaction, regardless of if there's an alliance there or not. It's like, thank you for looking out for me.
Yeah, that seems like a good thing to say.
But you're right. It does kind of feel like
just the fact that it was as public as it was with Kellen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, very interesting. But Kellen just rubs me the wrong way, and she continues to on the entire episode tonight.
Yep.
And so things are going along, and do you have anything before Dom finds David's fake idol?
I just put that there's a quote from Seabass saying, "If we get another ripe papaya, we should do a fruity rice batch." I just thought that was a funny thing to add in. And in general, I don't feel like the surviving aspect is being edited in very well. There's been episodes where I just feel for these people. They're just dirty and they're hungry and they're weak. And this just feels like, we're kind of camping.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So I watched 3 Ponderosas last week.
Man, I never think to do that.
And so the Ponderosa, for those new to Survivor, are these YouTube, usually 7 or 8 minute videos.
Everybody goes to an all-you-can-eat steakhouse, and then they tell their Survivor story, like a big buffet.
It's a big buffet.
The Ponderosa. Sorry.
And so they go. So they get a video. They come. They walk out of Tribal. They go talk to Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe goes, "Do you remember what you weighed when you got here?" They answer. He's like, "What do you think you weigh now?" And they get weighed. Then they go into. They take the boat over to the Ponderosa camp, or it's not a camp. It's like a resort.
Okay.
And they get to eat whatever they want, and they see themselves in the mirror for the first time, and then they tell a little story.
Oh, I want to watch that.
Oh, it's so good. And Chris Nobles was the best. The last 2.5 minutes is him doing a rap.
Oh, no.
It is the greatest, worst rap I've ever heard. It was
Chris.
so... It is...
Maybe he hadn't gotten to hear Wendell's...
No, he definitely hasn't, because it was years, or months later. It was months later before he's watching the show.
Oh, he doesn't get to know any of that till now. Yeah. Okay.
So... it's so good. You have to. You have to check out Chris Nobles. And so anyway, so Dr. Joe asked each of them, how are you doing with the, such a lack of food this year? And so, each of them had lost 12 or 13 pounds.
That's pretty significant in 3 weeks?
Yeah.
It's day 29 right now, but.
So was it like 21, 26, and 29 or something like that?
Wow.
Yeah. So significant amount of weight being lost, and apparently not much food. But yeah, they're definitely not playing that up. It must be because there's nobody like out there like really showing anybody up fishing.
I guess so.
You would think sea bass would be out there catching fish or something.
Yeah.
And in tonight's episode, we saw Wendell talking to Lauren, and it looked like he had a fishing line in his hand.
But we don't ever see an actual fish being caught. Sometimes that's a big story point. Maybe they just don't have enough time to tell all those stories.
That could be.
So we did see an interesting discussion again before the fake idol was found. That was Dominic and Wendell, and I just thought they put that in there as maybe a little bit of foreshadowing. Wendell was saying to Dominic, we cannot go against each other or something. Like we just can't. We have to stick together. If we go against
each other, we're both going to get picked off.
Yes.
Which is probably true.
I don't know. And then Dom says separately, not in front of Wendell, just to the camera, he's willing to stab Wendell in the back. He's willing to do whatever to win the game, which, I mean, it is the game of Survivor. You've got to do what you've got to do. But it seems to me like he's more willing to turn on Wendell than Wendell is to turn on him at this point.
And you have to imagine that they're both thinking that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what this game is. Nobody is like, well, I really like Dom, and so I guess, I'll throw it to him.
Of course not. Yeah.
And so at some point, I think Wendell's just like, that point is not now, Dom. We need to stay strong.
And he's probably just protecting himself. He doesn't want him to turn on him, Maybe he would if he had the opportunity to turn on Dominic, but he's just trying to be safe at this point.
Yep.
And so Dominic says he has an idol, but
he definitely does have an idol.
He decides to look for some suspicious trees or something and see if he can find something else.
Yeah, well, his thought was that an idol was played. I guess Michael played an idol a couple tribals ago, so there's a possibility that another one has been placed at this point, and so he's going to make sure that power is in his hands, and so he goes out searching for idols.
How is everybody not looking? That drives me crazy. We just don't see it, I guess.
We have to imagine that everybody's looking.
Okay.
But I don't know. Donathan? I was going to say, is Donathan looking? He seems like he quits everything. But he did go out and found one, so he's definitely got one.
He does have one.
Not anymore.
No.
Spoiler.
So, he finds a coconut with an emblem on it.
And he pulls it out, and he rips it open, and it is a fake idol from a previous season.
Season 33.
And
Gen X versus Millennials.
And what's interesting about this is that it is still a fake idol.
Yeah. It hasn't caught its real power yet or something.
And so I really like that twist.
Yeah.
I really think that is interesting because now you have... on a show like this, Ghost Island, bringing a bunch of things. They've already seen a fake idol turned into a real idol with the fake stick.
True.
This is no longer a effing stick. And so now there's an idol that was a fake from a previous season that is now not an idol. Like, there's no reason that anybody would think that it's not an actual idol at this point.
For sure.
Because it's a relic that's been on Ghost Island, theoretically. Yeah. And so I think that even without the paper, because you can't show them the paper because the paper says that it's not a real idol.
Yeah.
Even without the paper, people are going to believe that it is a real idol.
Yeah, it seems like they will. So his job, in order to turn it into real power, he has to fool somebody else.
Yes.
Fool them into using it? Just fool them into believing that it's real?
That they have it so that they'll make some choice that puts the power back in Dom's hand. My concern is that anybody that thinks they have stumbled on it is going to open up the coconut and there's not going to be any paper in it.
Yeah, I would be very suspicious at this point about something without paper.
Yeah.
So would it be better for Dominic to say he found it and then say, hey, I've already got an idol, I'm going to let you use it, or something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. So in the time that it was originally played, we haven't watched season 33 yet, but that looked exciting. It was between Jay and Ty, and it looks like Ty had found it or made it. And then put it in a coconut and hid it and let Jay discover it on his own.
Yeah.
Which, did he know Jay was going to find it? We got to go back and watch that season.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So then Jay brought it to tribal council and played it and thought he was going to win. And that was Jeff's first time to say, hey, this is not a real idol. And he just threw it in the fire.
I love that. Yeah.
Jay was shocked and went home.
So then we jump right into the immunity challenge.
Yeah,
no reward challenge.
We don't have time for that.
So, and Jeff drops the bomb, 2 immunities and 2 tribals, 2 people getting voted out tonight. And so they randomly separate into 2 tribes. Amber, do you have those 2 tribes there?
Yes. One of them was Michael, Laurel, Dominic, Wendell, and Kellen. The other one was Chelsea, Sebastian, Angela, Jenna, and Donathan.
And so it looks like on the orange team, which Dominic and Wendell were on, that Michael is in a real tough spot.
Yeah, we right away said he has to win this. And, of course, it's just another stand there and endure competition. And he has not done well in those at all.
Yeah, it seems like he should.
I know, but, yeah.
Like, I don't know. And it doesn't sound like when he was talking about his failure that he's like, I don't know what happened. It didn't sound like he got worn out. He just must have, maybe was trying to adjust his hands or something.
I don't think anybody realized that once the ball slips, it's way harder to hold on to. I think they thought, oh, we've got a little room. I can let it maneuver a little bit. But once it slipped, hardly anybody was able to keep it for more than a few seconds.
Yeah. And so I don't think Michael went out first.
No, he was the second.
Kellen went out first.
Kellen went out first, and she'd been really strong at these endurances.
Yeah. And Michael, then Laurel, and Dom and Wendell it was really fun.
Yeah, they kind of gave some good banter. And
back and forth.
I think they mostly trusted each other. They just wanted a chance to win. But I think, there's always that seed of doubt.
You can't. Yeah, absolutely. So Dominic ends up winning for the orange.
And it did feel like Wendell didn't give it to him. They both really tried to press till the end. They were in it for more than 30 minutes.
Yep. So that was crazy. So, so things look bad for Michael. On the other tribe, the little baby tribe, we have Chelsea, Angela. Who'd you say was on that?
Sebastian, Jenna, and Donathan.
Jenna. Okay, who's not on my list.
Ah.
And ends up, I can't remember who dropped out.
Donathan was first. Sebastian was second. That was a shocker.
Yeah.
Jenna was third. And then Angela and Chelsea were kind of...
Yeah, it looked like Chelsea was going to drop it. Yeah. And then she came back, and then out of nowhere, Angela
just slid all the way out.
And then Chelsea wins for twice in a
row. She hasn't done anything.
She's starting to play this game.
Well, it'd be nice if they ever put her on camera.
Yeah, maybe I don't know what her voice never says anything.
I don't know what her personality's like.
Yeah.
I need some more from Chelsea.
Yeah, it seems like she is starting to make the fact that she is in it here at whatever this is, day 29.
Yeah.
I mean, the finish line's in sight.
Did Jeff say it? I missed it.
No, Dominic said it.
Really?
Yeah,
when?
Very early in the show.
Oh.
It was Dom or Wendell, I think.
Man.
So I don't know. I'm really impressed with her. Just the last 2 episodes, winning back-to-back hidden immunity or individual immunity challenges is very impressive. So
I think
it's actually something that in the end of the game, you can stand up and go, hey, I won. I made these alliances. I won these important immunity challenges, which,
That's true.
And so
That's
she
true.
is playing the game, but it's a very interesting place because she doesn't feel like a threat.
Right.
But now,
2 in a row.
I think people have to at least be thinking.
Makes you look, yeah.
Yeah.
I did write down, how we love Jeff narrating the challenges, and he wrote, Dominic trying to seize it with a verbal assault. Again, when it was down to Dominic and Wendell. I liked that.
Yeah, he's very, very good. And because Purple was out first, they had to go to Tribal first.
Yeah, so I guess there's a slight advantage to being able to see who was voted out by the other tribe. I can't imagine that really shaking things up that much, but it could have, I suppose.
And so then they go back to camp, and honestly, I couldn't keep very many notes because there's so many conversations happening, so many kind of groups of people getting together talking about who are going to do what. The main theme that I saw running through this section leading up to Tribal was Michael talking to Donathan and Michael claiming to have a hidden immunity.
Yeah, Michael knowing he was on the line, he needed to do anything he could to save himself. So first, he asked Donathan. I thought he was going to ask Donathan to use his idol, but he just wanted to borrow it and kind of show it to people, and so they could think he had an idol. Donathan real firmly said no, and I was proud of him.
Yeah, good job, Donathan.
Yep.
Yeah, he stood his ground. It didn't make any sense for him to do that. And so Michael goes ahead and pulls Kellen aside, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah, that was fantastic acting. I think he was kind of meant it. Like, I'll work with you if you keep me. He was basically saying, well, we could be allied, and I have an idol. I'm going to use it no matter what. So who can we vote out instead?
I think that he chose Kellen to bring that up because Kellen is kind of the nervous, jittery person that's going to get freaked out.
I think
which
so
works
too.
in his advantage.
I think he's so smart.
And so then for the rest of the episode, he's just playing it cool. We just see him. He's in the water.
Yes.
He's just hanging out.
Which actually made people suspicious.
Yeah.
Like, he seems like he's got something because he's not worried.
Yep, exactly.
Oh,
it was
so
fantastic.
Smart.
He did
so
such a good job. And then who else is on that team? So then Laurel she's got this deal or this alliance with Wendell and Dom, really.
Yeah.
And so but then Kellen's nervous, and like I just couldn't tell, all the conversation what was going to happen there.
Dominic was never fooled by the idea that Michael had an idol. He never believed it. He said he just didn't, and so he stood firm with he was going to vote for Michael no matter what. He seemed like he kept Wendell with him. I do think that he wasn't that worried if Michael had an idol, and if whoever had the next highest votes got cast out, it wasn't going to be him because he had an immunity necklace on. So he seemed almost too casual in the fact that he didn't care who left.
Yeah, Dom is sitting pretty. He had that individual immunity idol. He has a hidden immunity idol, and he has that kind of fake idol up his sleeve. So he's got so much power going on right now, especially in this episode.
Yeah, that is true. Kellen brought to mind, I don't think she never told anybody about it, but about her advantage, her second vote. She brought that up before they went to tribal or anything and said, hey, I could cast 2 votes for Laurel, and this might be the time to do it. And it sure is.
What did she cast 2 votes for Laurel?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had a hard time seeing what was going on. And that changed things. Otherwise, it would have been...
Well, it made him go to a second vote.
Yeah.
But it would have been Michael either way.
It would have been Michael either way.
It's very sad.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we lose Michael.
Yeah, the other tribe, before tribal council, we've got Jenna and Donathan kind of lying to each other. The tribe wants Jenna gone, and so they said they're going to tell Jenna that they're voting for Donathan. So then Jenna tells Donathan that they're actually going to vote for her because she doesn't want Donathan to use his immunity idol. And then Donathan says he'd use his idol on her.
Yeah, which seems like
goodness.
crazy. And I'm like, Donathan, you have watched enough of this show to know that is a terrible idea.
And they're not even that closely. If he used it on Laurel, I would maybe understand because they've had a close bond since the beginning.
Yeah,
but
the only thing
Jenna
is to try to protect some Malolo to readjust. But yeah, so that seems absolutely crazy. And then Jenna is like, if this idiot actually plays this idol for me, that's whatever. All right, see you, Donathan. So she obviously has no loyalty towards Donathan, but I don't think it's dislike. I think it's just, how do I get through as a Malolo member? How do I get one more day?
Right.
So I don't think she's evil. I think she's just...
Yeah, she definitely didn't care if Donathan got hurt, but hey, it's Survivor.
Yeah, exactly. It's Survivor. And so there's a lot of chatter going on, and Amber was quite nervous that Donathan was going to follow through with that
because
offer.
I thought if the whole team thinks they're voting out Jenna, and then Donathan thinks he's protecting Jenna, but she then, anyway, if he used his idol on her, and then she cast her 1 vote for him, he would be wasting his idol, and he would go home. I was so worried.
That would have been very, very disheartening. And so their tribal council was very, very short. Jeff said it was the fewest questions he'd ever asked in a tribal. Jenna was very like, I'm just done. And she was putting on an act.
She was pretending, but it was true.
Yeah. And so she was very confident that it was going towards Donathan.
Yeah.
And
she's like, they're just going to vote me out. I just want to get the vote out. Let's just vote. I'm done or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was for real.
She was. Yeah. And so when she got voted out, she was shocked.
Yeah.
She was not expecting that. And she already has a little bit of that RBF, and that kind of got turned up to 10, maybe 11.
Yeah.
And she was just like, you could just see this like just downcastness, and she kind of Charlie Brown's over
tribe
to the
turned on her.
Yeah,
she voted.
Well, Donathan didn't vote for her.
No, he voted for Sebastian. You're right.
Yeah, and so he was loyal. I think he's doing well. He's really kind of come into his own. I don't love him as much as I did at the very first couple of episodes. I just thought he was great.
Yeah.
Like now, he's kind of gaining a little bit of confidence.
Yeah.
And has less of that kind of like, well, I'm just a little hick out here in the Fiji Islands. I don't know what's going on.
Naivety, yeah.
And he's like, hey, can I use your idol? No, that doesn't make any sense, And so he's playing the game.
Yeah.
He's doing good.
Yeah, and when he stood up, we didn't know when he was going to play the idol. Oh my gosh, is he going to play it for Jenna? So if he would have played it for Jenna, then they would have been tied, Donathan and Sebastian, and they would have had to go back and re-vote Donathan and Sebastian, and he would have gone home.
I think so.
So he definitely did make the right decision.
Very, very good. And so Jeff is like, all right, Angela, or what's your name? Jenna. Jenna. Jeez. Jenna, you can just go sit with the with the jury. And then the other tribe came in, had a pretty interesting tribal, and they sent poor Michael home in a split vote. I tell you what, he was just so fun to watch.
He really
on
was.
the bottom for the entire.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire season he has been just working to stay in. And,
I know.
And he went out well. Just the maturity.
Seriously.
And he's like, man, I've watched this show for a long time. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
I loved it. But
Yeah.
all right, see, and it's just like, this guy's the real deal, just a great.
I'd like to see everybody's reaction when they find out he's only 18. I mean, that was really impressive.
Yeah, very, very impressive.
I did want to mention Chris's deep V in the jury.
Mm-hmm.
That's real deep.
Real deep.
Bright green deep V t-shirt.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else to mention?
Anything else going on?
We were worried in the middle of the second tribal because Dominic and Wendell started whispering.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was all about.
Everybody thought they were changing their votes. Laurel was afraid that they were originally going to vote for Michael and they were changing their mind, but they did still vote for Michael. So that did not happen. They had to re-vote. There was a tie to Laurel to Michael. So they had to re-vote, and it was Michael.
Yeah. So pretty good episode. Lots of banter going on. I definitely think that in the previews for next week, it looks like there's going to be a lot of division, a lot of things kind of falling apart for Naviti. I think it should be a good end of the season. We can only have a handful of episodes left, I would think.
Yeah, it's getting the finish line's in sight, as they say.
The finish line is in sight, as they said early on in the episode.
There's also looks like there might be some family visits next time.
That is one of my favorites. I love it when the families come. They didn't show all the
family, so I don't know if everybody's going to get to see them.
Well, they always do.
Everybody get to see them, but they don't necessarily get to touch them or hug them.
And so they should all be there, and they're going to be. Often the family members will work together in the challenge to try to win.
Oh, that's
something.
right. Yeah.
Last year was a real disappointment. Last season with the drawing marbles and try to draw the same color marble as your loved one, and that was lame. But in previous seasons, they've actually done some sort of a challenge where they work together, trying to win usually a pretty nice resort stay with their family if you win, and then
one family member might get to come back to camp.
Yeah. So,
it seems like a big group to be doing family already. Have they done it with 9 before?
I think. Well, I can't remember, but yeah. So it's a really, really fun one because it humanizes everybody.
Yes, exactly.
Which is great.
Maybe even Kellen. I'm just
kidding.
Maybe
even Kellen.
Kellen's
exactly.
a human.
So, all right, Amber. Who outwitted? Who outlasted? Who outplayed? I had Michael down for outplay. Now he didn't outlast. But I think just his play was solid, and it was this big Hail Mary. He had no other choice.
Okay.
He played it well. Lots of people fooled. I thought it was a good play. Yeah,
I want to say that he outwitted or he outlasted, but he didn't. I do think we could say outplay, I guess.
So maybe that's more of an... I guess that's more of an outwit, isn't it?
He lasted a long time,
we usually
but he
do
didn't
outplay
last till the end.
For the
physical
competitions.
But there wasn't a lot of physical to...
So did he outwit them? a little bit, but not.
He definitely gave
everybody.
them a run for their money. He definitely outwitted Kellen, shook her up quite a bit.
Very
She voted
much.
Laurel. I mean, if she would have persuaded one more person to come over to Laurel, he'd be safe.
Yes. So I thought that was great. Did anybody else do anything outwitty? Did anybody else do something that was very outwitty? Not really.
There was something weird going on with the Donathan. If Jenna had convinced Donathan to use the idol on her and then got himself
that would have
out,
been good.
that might have been something.
Quite. But because let's give it to Michael.
Yeah,
it's his
that's
last
one
night.
Poor little guy.
Another win for Michael, and the segment says "Spoken Metal
Michael
thing."
Fest.
The Michael Fest. We love you, Michael, so much. We're gonna miss you.
So
who
outlast and outplay?
Outplayed. Well, I'm really impressed with Chelsea. She stuck through there, but she didn't last as long as either of the other guys. So I guess we could give it to Dom because he literally outplayed everybody else in the only challenge of the night.
Yeah, he really did. And he was smart. That's
very
more
smart.
But smart by not believing Michael.
Finding the hidden immunity, fake idol thing. So good job, Dominic. Outplay. So who outlasted?
Outlast. So that's kind of somebody who we thought would be voted out by now and didn't, or managed to avoid getting voted out.
Yeah.
Was that Donathan? Was that Laurel? I don't know if Laurel was really on the line.
It didn't
Kellen
feel
liked
too
to think
scary
she was.
for her. Yeah.
Might have been Donathan.
Yeah, he would have gone, like you said, he would have been gone if he didn't play that idol.
Yeah,
so.
He really would have. I was thinking, it's a bummer for him that he didn't have a bunch of votes that he could say, haha, I played it, but it really would have, it would have messed him up.
So good job outlasting Donathan. So I think that's his first little prize that he's won.
One of these days I'm going to go through and tally these.
Yeah, that would be really great. So awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us for Segments Has Spoken, a Survivor Fancast. We had a fantastic time watching Season 36, Episode 11 of Survivor Ghost Island.
That's all for tonight. You can grab your torches and head back to camp.
Boom, boom.